Hello, I'm Emma. Welcome back to your super speedy full body Pilates. So grab a little bit of space. This is one you can easily chuck into your day because I know everyone is busy these days. So yeah, I shouldn't have said that because busy means my guide dog can go toilet. But anyway, let's get ready to go. So, if you've got wrist or knee pain, you might want to pad up a little bit more, or this might not be the routine for you. So if you do need to go for a different routine instead, then I've got lots on my channel. But otherwise, let's bring ourselves over onto our hands and knees. We're going to spread the hands nice and wide, or maybe you want the hands in a fist. You might even want to be down on the forearms for this part as well. But otherwise, we'll spread the hands nice and wide underneath the shoulders. And when you have the knees underneath the hips, hip distance apart, toes are untucked. And we're going to start by coming in and out of a lovely big cat stretch. So we're rounding the spine up, tucking the head, the tailbone under. And then going the opposite way and thinking about lifting through the chest, the tailbone. And then we'll round up, hello. And go back the opposite way. Archie has decided to join us. For anyone that doesn't know, Archie is my guide dog and he's off duty at the minute. Carry on with that. Can you sit? Can you lay down? Oh, he's a lovely down dog. You're gonna lay down, thank you. So, no, it's not playtime. He's extra He's extra playful. Okay, let's do a moving cat. So this time, sit back towards the heels, stretch the arms long, drop the head towards the floor. And then as you start to shift the weight back onto the hands and knees and slightly over the wrists, round your spine up. And then as you sit back towards the heels, arch through the back, lift through the chest and find that extension. So we're just flowing through. That's lovely, Archie. He's now cleaning himself. That's lovely. So just flow through, we're just warming up the back, a little bit into the wrists and the legs. Good, we're breathing wide and full into our rib cage. In through the nose, out through the mouth. It's not playtime, it's not playtime. Okay, ready? And then find yourself somewhere in the middle. So we've got our hands underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. And we're going to tuck the toes under. I want you to imagine that you've got a tray of food and drink on your back, so you're nice and steady. And then when you're ready, let's hover the knees an inch or two off the mat and just hold. Feeling this work going through the upper body. And then let the knees soften down and sit back towards the heels. Just give the wrists a little release. Then we'll shift the weight back over onto the hands and knees. We hover the knees an inch or two off of the mat. And then soften the knees down and sit back. How I like to describe this is imagine you're on a thin layer of ice. You don't want it to break, and you also don't want to slide, so you're really gentle. If you want to make this a little bit more challenging, what you can do instead is come up into your box. We're going to hover the knees and then send the hips high and come into your inverted triangle down dog where the hips are high. You're trying to get your chest in between your hands and you've straightened your legs trying to push your heels down. And then you come back to hovered knees. Now you either rest or stay hovered and then we'll lift up again. So you can flow through without this rest in between from hovered knees. And then again, I'm going to give another option. I'm going to adjust myself though because I'm so sweaty through my hands. I'm sliding on the mat. We can do a plank option. So if that's not quite challenging enough still, we can come into our inverted triangle down dog. And then we're going to lift through the heels. And it's almost like you're coming into like a long cat, rippling yourself out until you're in a plank, a nice extended plank. The arms are lengthened, and then we push back up again into our down dog. We raise up through the balls of the feet. We ripple out back into our lovely plank, and we go again. So you just stay with the one that feels best for you. Archie is just going around the mat, around the room. And on this last one, soften the knees down, sit back, child's pose. So sit back towards the heels. Good. From there, we're going to come back up onto the hands and knees. If you need to give the wrists a little rotate, then do. And we're back in that box again. When you're ready from here, find that nice flat back as you glide your right leg nice and long behind you on the floor. And then you're gonna lift the leg up to about hip level without sinking into your back. Really scoop the abs in and then tap the toes down and lift. So we're keeping that leg nice and lengthened as we lift up and down. Now, if you want more challenge, oh God, here comes Archie again. We're gonna tuck the toes under off the knee that's still on the floor. You're gonna hover that knee an inch or two off of the mat, and you're gonna continue to lift and lower that back leg up and down. You can always sit back in between, have a little breather, give the wrists a rotate, and we just go 3 and 2. And then on that last one, keep the leg up for me. Bring yourself down onto your forearms and really send energy through those arms so we're not sinking into the shoulders. You're gonna bend your foot so it goes, bend your knee rather so your foot goes up towards the ceiling, and just give me little pulses up, squeezing into the glutes. I'm gonna sit up for a second because I don't know if you can hear me there, but it also gives me time to have a little rest. I want you to imagine that you're trying to pull your thigh away from the floor. It's like you're trying to put a footprint on the ceiling and you're trying to get that thigh as far away from the floor as possible as we pulse up. On the next one, we're going to hold it as high as we can without sinking into the back, and we're going to swivel and open the knee out and swivel back in. So this movement, if I go into a seated position, this movement is coming right from the hip socket. So we're swiveling out, swiveling back in. That was a really bad demonstration there. Swivel. And the higher you keep that thigh, the more challenging it's going to feel. 2. And swivel in. And let's go last one. Swivel in, and then we're going to come up onto the hands. We're going to step that foot we were just moving in between the hands. So the foot is on the floor, the ankle is underneath the knee, and we're just going to come into this lovely hip flexor stretch. If you want to tuck your back toes under and lift the knee, then you can as well, and just find this lovely opening through the hips. And then drop that knee down, step that leg back, maybe have a release for a second, and then we need to do everything on the other side. So when you're ready, back up onto the hands and knees. I keep hitting the mic. Oh no, what's happened is the mic has flipped over. So I'm really hoping here, I'm going to move it up a bit, that it's not, you've been able to hear me for the last 5 minutes. Okay, so when you're ready, hands are underneath the shoulders again, knees are underneath the hips. We're going to slide the other leg back. You've got that tray of food and drink on your back, and you're going to lift and lower that back leg. You're sending energy into the hands so we're not sinking, into the shoulders. If you want to tuck the toes under of the leg that's on the floor, hover the knee, I nearly got cramp there, and continue to lift and lower the leg there. You can. I'm going to keep mine down because it feels like I'm about to get cramp. Then do. Think about a rod going from the top of your head all the way down to your tailbone. Good. From there, we're going to come down onto the forearms, lift the leg up, bend the knee, and pulse it up. So we're trying to push that leg right up to the ceiling. Keep going for me. I'm really worried now. The mic is going to keep flipping over. I don't know why it's doing that today. Let me move it maybe down. Carry on for me. And then keep the leg up as high as you can. Let's swivel the knee out and swivel back in. So you're on your knee of your other leg. You've got the other leg that's up in a right angle, and you're trying to swivel and open the knee out to the side and swivel back in for another 3. It looks easier than it is. I'm probably not actually making it look easy. 1. When you're ready, bring that leg down, step up onto the hands, bring the foot in between the hands, really plant the foot into the floor. Ankle is underneath the knee, hands are by each side of that foot. Tuck your toes and lift that back leg, feeling that lovely hip flexor stretch. Okay, from here, we're going to bring the back leg in, so we're in almost this little crouch, and then we take the other leg back. We go again, we come in with both feet, we're in a parallel position, we're in this little crouch, hands are resting on the floor, and then we take the other leg back. So every time we take a leg back, just keep changing, we come down onto the knee into a right angle, the knee is underneath the hip, and the front foot is, ankle is underneath the knee. Am I making any sense whatsoever? You come into a crouch, coming back into one kneeling position, stepping in. Now, you can stay with this, or to make it more challenging, start in high kneeling. So you're resting on your knees, legs are behind you. You're coming up nice and tall. Hands can be on the hips or by your side. You're going to step your right leg in front so the foot is planted into the floor. Knee is stacked on top of the ankle. You push into that front foot and you stand nice and tall. You then take that same right leg back into our kneeling position. So now the left leg is in front, and then you take the left leg back. So you're back to high kneeling. Does that make sense? We step the left leg in front, we plant the foot into the floor, we have that lovely right angle. You push into that front foot and you stand nice and tall. We then bring that left leg back down, so we're kneeling in this kind of proposing kind of position, proposing, and then we come back to high kneeling. We step the right leg in front. We push into it and we stand nice and tall. We take that same right leg back to kneeling, then we take the left leg back, then we keep going. So what this is great for is, as we get older and it's harder and harder to get off of the floor, these are going to keep us nice and strong and allow us to, like I said, do everyday tasks where we're getting up and off of the floor. Okay, on this last one, let's come up to standing. We're going to lift nice and tall, I'm going to shuffle back, and we're going to hinge slightly forwards, sending energy into those feet. We're going to sweep the arms in front to about shoulder height, palms facing up without the shoulders rounding forwards. And we're simply swinging the arms back and forth. I want you to imagine you're sitting back into a chair. I'm checking my mic again. I'm really paranoid now that you're not going to hear me. Swing back and forth with the arms. So the arms go up to shoulder height and then they squeeze back behind us. And you feel your shoulder blades squeezing slightly together. So we're imagining we're sitting back slightly into this chair. We're hinging our upper body forwards. Keep the arms swinging back this time. Palms face up, and you're giving me little pulses up, up, up. So palms go up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders back and down. And we breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out for 5. Breathing in for 5. Breathing out, keep the arms up, and when you're ready, we cross over, under, under. So you're trying to take one arm over, one arm under, then you open the arms out to the side and do the reverse. Other arm goes over, other arm goes under, but you go quicker. Switch and out, and switch and out. Good, when you're ready from there, stand nice and tall, roll the shoulders back and down. Last little standing bit. I've got a really squishy mat today, so I don't think I'm going to be able to balance that great, but we're going to try anyway. Then again, when can I ever balance? Feet are about hip distance apart. Good Pilates posture, stand nice and tall. Draw your belly button away from your clothing, let your shoulders roll down your back, and let's stretch the arms all the way up to the ceiling. So what the arms are going to do is you're going to pull down this imaginary bar from the ceiling. Elbows come down into this right angle, this capital E. So your shoulder to your elbow is in line, and then where the elbow bends, your fingers and your knuckles are pointing up to the ceiling. You lift up, you draw the elbows down by your side to shoulder height, and you lift up. Then what the legs are doing, we stretch the arms up. As you pull the arms down, one leg lifts up, so the knee lifts and the thigh is parallel to the ceiling, and then you tap that leg down as the arms stretch up, and then you pull the other leg and stretch, and we just keep switching. And as we do this, we're trying to stand nice and tall. We're trying to keep our balance. We pull the arms down as the knee lifts, we step down and we switch right to left. So we're working the abs in this nice standing position. Okay, you can stay with this. Otherwise, you're going to pull down and we're going to twist and twist. So we're lifting the knee up still, and we're keeping the arms in that capital E, and we're just twisting. I'm losing my balance here. We're twisting towards that leg that comes up. So the upper body twists. You're trying to get the opposite elbow over to the knee. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand nice and tall, stretch the arms up. Let the arms drop down and take a roll down for me. Nod the chin to the chest. Roll down towards the mat. That was hard work trying to balance on a really squishy mat. When you're ready, roll all the way up, bone by bone. Send your tailbone towards your heels. Let's restack. And lift tall. Roll your shoulders out. Give your legs a little shake. And you're done. I'm sweating. It's really hot in here. That's my excuse anyway. I hope you enjoyed it. Just a super speedy, full body routine. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye.